Renegade. Man, when afraid. Man in the wilderness. Keep it real and honest from you, not obliged. Yeah, man, none. Saying, good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon. Right around the globe. Keep it real. All right, today now, gonna carry, right now, we broadcast the PNP conference. This very important. To if you listen to Marky G, yeah, the opposition leader Marky G, yeah, aka Jasper Jr. And then you have Dr. Nathan Campbell, you have KD Knight, the sheriff, and you have who again, like I said, who was the Motley, the not Scott Motley. Yes. I'm going to want to listen keenly, you know, where they live where them a call for the PNP call for the, you know, the Prime Minister to do the honorable thing and leave. And that's true. Yes. Him can't hold up that saying, you know, people of Jamaica, they can't put up with him. I'm going to ask you too, because I talked to one of my brethren today, and him send me a thing. We have some group. That's why I'm not going to a group. I'm not do that group thing there. We have some group where we not do the wrong thing. We not put some people in algorithm. We have some idlers. We don't take them and put it on a group, man. And not listen to them. They don't mean nothing to you. Don't waste enough time. Listen, you have a government or country, you don't listen to many hands. You have a government or country, them you for hold accountable. You know, even want you with them and say, I will Andrew and the government and the things where they want to do, that member, what them do, it affects your life. Not them million, them just talk and collect a 2 grand and them thing. The PNP, stop put them in a one group. Stop put them in and them with the pandemic thing and the blah blah. Stop put them in a one group. We now wait some time, we now put them for algorithm and everything. Take it from me. Me not listen to them. Because I mean another waste time thing there. And this is a serious thing. So I have just asked them to stop put them there, you know. Virgin send, when I see them, I have to remove them same time. I will never, my ears can't know that. I not listen to garbage. I not listen to stuff. You have to first in study, first in discipline. Yeah. You understand? And knowledge of power. Them not knowledge, them just start a bag of bullshit. You know, that's something we couldn't go in a group. You understand? Now do it. Because you have to come with some things positive where we know, say, yeah, the massive. I'm going to benefit off or something. But we're not going to listen. Some people are chat. Them they know what them are chat say. Them just sit on a chat about bullshit. Don't want to stop put them in a group. Make them stay by themselves and where they want to stay and live now for them because cocoon. Better ask. The way the government do it effect on. Now what them are say. You know why what them are say? Them they are pig food. Yes. Them are pig food. You understand? Yeah, and I call them buzzard. Look up the meaning. Can you have different buzzard, turkey, vulture, buzzard. Just look up the buzzard, them are buzzard. So you know, listen to buzzard, right? You have different buzzard. Yeah. So just look up the meaning of buzzard. Them are buzzard. The turkey, vulture, buzzard. Yeah. We don't listen buzzard. Remember start the show, yeah, because I got straight to the conference, yeah. Right.
We in lump sum, we a beat it till they are my bane. We now make them get in a them and again. None of them boy, we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomber them.
Not a Judas, them a backstabber. I'm my wife, and this straight beauty and glamour. No guy can walk to name me with no dagger. Maybe the heart of Mandela, but the mind of a Zama in the mold. Like a bull man, we send us the jammer. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Become a lyrical theater, put up in everything, they load some boy all in a hater.
Yeah, man, bless up. All right, no further ado. I could just go straight to the conference and we listen and then we can dissect. Because even when I went up and down and drive up and down with one bag of police that people think and just go sit down. Him let them Jamaican people, you know, him too lying, man. Yeah. And the money movement thing there in a pandemic, you know, ask. Because I give some people, if you want to get the thing, I want to read it for myself, I want to dissect it. Remember, you know, he might drive up and down right now. And him think that cannot be verified. Him started every declaration. It can't certify. I don't think him can verify something. It can't be certified. It cannot be. And that bad for a prime minister, leader of the country. 3 years now. I'll him to drive up and down and make a one bag of thing a country and thing. We don't work with that. And when you look now, I said something more I'm gonna look on. I play this and then I look on something. Because me I send it to you know. When I ask, I have it, me send it to you and I take them and go through the pages. Now when you pick out something, I said, man, you can't stand in front of you. It don't make no sense. This is the same man if you have a little youth and get out and him say radam too. And lock up the youth and set police and lock them up and lick down place and say, you can't manage a country better. This is a simple thing. Let me start this right now. Right now.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, those who are here with us physically and those who are joining online. Good morning as well to those who are viewing online. This morning, we're gathered to have a press briefing in relation to the Integrity Commission report into the statutory declaration of the Prime Minister. Indeed, there are several findings within the report that we'd like to speak to this morning. And first up, you will hear from the leader of the party, Member of Parliament, Mark Golding.
Good morning, members of the media, those who are listening online. The Integrity Commission's report that was tabled this Tuesday in the
recording in progress
in the House of Representatives. It's in fact two reports. There is an investigation report, which is a lengthy document, 171 pages long, and that is a report that was produced by the Director of Investigations of the Integrity Commission. And there's also a special report, which is a short one-page document coming from the commissioners themselves. And that latter report calls upon Parliament to support the recommendation of the Director of Investigations in the investigation report that matters arising from the report be referred to the Financial Investigations Division, the FID. The Integrity Commission's report makes the important point that as Prime Minister and Head of Government, Mr. Andrew Holness has a higher duty to the public to ensure that the laws of Jamaica are maintained and that he acts in keeping with the standards of principled behavior required of his very high office. I'm sad to say, and I take no glee in saying this, that Mr. Holness has failed in this solemn duty to the Jamaican people. He has known since May 2023 that he was under investigation for illicit enrichment, which is a corruption offense created by Section 14(5) of the Corruption Prevention Act. Yes, Mr. Holness is one of the illicit 6, now the illicit 8, and he has known this for well over a year. Yet Mr. Holness misled the country by withholding the truth about this investigation in statements that he made both in and outside Parliament over this period, even telling Jamaica that he had asked far and wide and none of his MPs were under investigation for illicit enrichment. This extended withholding of the truth, this fundamentally dishonest deception of the people of Jamaica obliterates any trust and confidence in the Prime Minister. How can we believe anything he says in light of the extended failure to tell us the truth that he was indeed under investigation for a serious criminal offense? This unprecedented situation is fundamentally incompatible with his continuing to hold office as Prime Minister. The Integrity Commission's report contains several serious findings which reinforce the need for Mr. Holness to go now. I will mention 3 of these. Firstly, there is the purchase of an investment for $94,000 US, using as part of the money that was put up to buy this investment, $32,000 US from a registered charity of which Mr. Holness is a director, called the Positive Jamaica Foundation, commingled with resources from his personal company, Imperium, including $30,000 US from an account that he had with SSL. Yes, SSL. Mr. Holness reported this investment for several years as 100% belonging to his company, Imperium, when the charity's money had been used to acquire it as well as his own. Indeed, a third of the money came from the charity. One can only wonder how local and international donors to that charity feel about its resources being used to enrich Mr. Holness personally. Secondly, the filing of nil returns by Mr. Holness's personal companies, nil tax returns, indicating that they had no taxable income or expenses when the companies did in fact have substantial income and expenses, is a matter which the Integrity Commission suggests would be a significant violation under Jamaica's tax laws and should be referred to the Commissioner General of Tax Administration, Jamaica, for action. Indeed, the payments between Mr. Holness's personal companies over the review period exceeded $400 million. Then there's the creation of a situation of conflict of interest by Mr. Holness appointing his business partner and co-investor in his personal real estate company, Mr. Norman Brown, to be chairman of 2 important public bodies, the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, and the Housing Association of Jamaica, HAJ, both of which fall under Mr. Holness's portfolio responsibility as minister, and both of which operate in the real estate sector. Mr. Holness has placed Jamaica, our beloved country and our cherished democracy, in a dangerous and untenable situation. His integrity issues cannot be resolved, partly because of the baffling complexity of his personal financial affairs. He operated no less than 28 bank accounts, 28. His 3 personal companies were involved in a very high volume of transactions, averaging over 4 per banking day during the period of review, including many substantial intercompany payments, and including over $4.5 million of so-called cardless cash deposits made over a 3-month period into his bank account by depositors whose identity remains unknown to the Commission. And partly, the matter is unresolved because Mr. Holness's own refusal to provide information about aspects of his affairs which was requested by the Integrity Commission for the purposes of their investigation. The Prime Minister therefore remains the subject of an incomplete investigation for illicit enrichment, as the Integrity Commission has been unable to conclude its investigation, in part because of Mr. Holness refusing to provide them with critical information that they need to do so. The Integrity Commission has recommended that the case be referred to the Financial Investigations Division, the FID, which specializes in financial crimes, including money laundering, and with which the Integrity Commission has an active Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, for mutual cooperation, which is provided for in Section 7, subsection 12 of the Integrity Commission Act, and also by an equivalent provision in the FID Act as well. This referral is recommended so that further investigation can get to the bottom of his affairs. And the Integrity Commission has also made it clear that Mr. Holness's statutory declarations cannot and will not be certified as required by law until the investigations have been concluded. So, Jamaica has a Prime Minister who remains under investigation for the serious corruption offense of illicit enrichment, and whose annual statutory declarations for 2021 onwards still cannot be certified by the country's Integrity Commission as required by law. This is a serious blot on the country's image, both locally and internationally. It is untenable for our Prime Minister not to be in good standing with the country's Integrity Commission. We cannot go on like this. The Prime Minister must step aside now or call fresh elections so that the people have the chance to elect a new government that can take our country out of this mess. Finally, it is important to dispel the deliberate falsehood that is being perpetrated in some circles of the Integrity Commission being motivated by political bias. While the developmental work on the legislation that created the Integrity Commission was done prior to 2016, the Integrity Commission Act was reviewed and then passed into law by this JLP government. The commissioners of the Integrity Commission were appointed under this JLP government, and Mr. Holness himself had an important role in their appointment. The staff of the Integrity Commission were all employed under this JLP government. The record shows that the Integrity Commission has taken action against delinquent representatives from both political parties. This scurrilous suggestion that the Integrity Commission is motivated by political bias must therefore be rejected for the malignant mischief that it is. The Integrity Commission is a critical institution in the governance of our country. A country which is seriously afflicted by the scourge of corruption at the highest levels. The Integrity Commission must be nurtured and supported so that it can do its anti-corruption work without fear or favor. The continuing attempts to discredit, weaken, undermine, or intimidate the Integrity Commission, its commissioners and staff must be condemned and resolutely resisted by all well-thinking Jamaicans. Now, I just want to close briefly by saying, in relation to the incident that we heard about through the news last night concerning the Holnesses and their home, that we absolutely abhor any such conduct. We call upon the security forces, law enforcement, to investigate it thoroughly, and if there are any perpetrators, to bring them to justice. And I want to extend my personal sympathies to Mr. and Mrs. Holness and their family. Thank you.
When I say these 10 leader now, although we know say the bomb threat, but this is what these 10 leaders do. You know, you come and you hear and them say it, and you come and you know, say, okay, make sure them safe. You know, somebody said to me, say, Lonesome, you know, Holness should even look on him because I said, no, man, when you hear something like that as a leader, you're do the right thing. But you know, Andrew lying. Andrew not really a leader, you know. 28 bank account and a leader. Them misled the people them again because them did want to show off this to people have sympathy for him. And them talk about BAM and them publish that in an arc and a paper from last night to come and rub it out. This morning now them say security threat. But just remember, and by the way, me just get a call going to see me turn up before me come on and stuff. In there somewhere in a center in a guy will gone so. Him not take helicopter this time, him gone so people are running away. Right? Just now. Just now. Say none about not threat or nothing. Him there in a center right now. Just now. So don't make him fooling about this and about scare and threat and do all kind of things. Him just out and about all over the place. But them that try to do it and try to do a deflection for the opposition not come stand up now, nobody not stand up. I say, well, how people do this? Bull crap. Let me continue. Continue.
I'll now ask Senator Donna Scott Montley to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I want to continue from where the leader of opposition left and to say to the Holness family that we all were very concerned about the reports, as unclear as they are, about the need for the multiple police to turn up at residence. We in Jamaica are very concerned that our democratic traditions be protected, and there should be no attempt to threaten the Prime Minister nor his family. Our condemnation is strong, and we trust that all the perpetrators will quickly be brought to justice. Now, let me say that today is...
All right, before Madam Donald Scott not to go through that, this is me show your Holness and Big Mama them deceitful. So you want to send that where the opposition leader hear that you family and that threat. Not go so, but this are deceitful, you know. Them deceitful, not go so. At this them want them, but they want from the whole of Jamaica for them. Make we move them from the criminality where we are seeing and all kind of thing. We don't hear the same yet, you know. This is just one out of the 8. One. This is just one. Make sure continue. And you see the people them these days, them still come and them hear that and them say we concern about something with them make up, you know. And they get them come back with the lie again, and this I tell you Holness. Stop on the lie, you and Big Mama and crap. Stop it, man. When they do it 2015 to stop it. When they dangerous. You understand? But no respect, because the opposition has show them, you know, yes. You know, you don't want nothing to, you know, the leaders and things. But who that threaten him? Who that threaten him? Too lie. Him just lie. Yes? Anyway, continue.
It's not a day that we celebrate.
Thank you. And I associate myself with the comments made in relation to the report of what took place last night at the Prime Minister's court. And greetings. Last evening I was given what is called a brief. It is not a brief. It is a thick document, very detailed in nature, clearly well written to the point, and it is the 172-page report of the Integrity Commission. As I read it, and I went through the 172 pages, something jumped out at me. One of the things that jumped out was that the allegations investigated and some of the findings made, could one person have caused these allegations to have surfaced? No. My mind as a lawyer practicing at the criminal bar saw that there were elements of conspiracy in this. And whilst I will not identify the potential conspirators, I will say that in the overall circumstances, the Prime Minister of Jamaica needs to remove himself from the office he now holds so that the appropriate investigative body can go very deeply into the allegations, and that the public will be satisfied that there is no interference at the highest level, and that certainly there is no cover-up. But this calls for detailed investigation. What jumped out at me too was the way in which the investigation was conducted, where they made reference to the judge's rule that persons who were interviewed, they were interviewed in accordance with the judge's rules. Now, let me just point out one important aspect of the judge's rules. It is a warning to the person who is being questioned. And it was a person that you need not say anything, but anything you say will be taken down in writing and may be used in evidence against you. And in this document, the warning was appropriate. Appropriate. What jumped out at me also, why would one need to have 20 accounts? Why? One would need to have 28 accounts if one was involved in businesses. Now, when I tried to find out who had the 28 accounts, I found out that it was the Prime Minister. You can't run a country and run private business at the same time. It's one or the other. One or the other. And it is clear that one of the reasons why the country is in the condition it is in now is that sufficient time is not being spent by the chief executive officer to run the country. We have business ventures. Jumped out at me also that, look, if it is that a Prime Minister is being investigated, how can he be the chief
accountable officer for discipline, law and order in a country. He cannot occupy the post and find himself in this position and do that which he was elected to do efficiently. Cannot. And therefore a call for his resignation. A call is justified. It's justified. It's justified because of what this report contains, both in terms of the volume of his association with other companies and the allegations contained herein. Had this been the private sector, the private sector officer, that private sector employee would have been sent on leave pending investigation. No private company in Jamaica would have caused someone against whom these allegations have leveled to continue in the highest position in that company. It's untenable. I expect that there will be more press conferences, leader. And I would like to have the opportunities to go through this in greater detail. And if you would be kind enough to invite me to that press conference so I could articulate on aspects of the law. But conspiracy jumps out. Money laundering, using what is called layering, jumps out at me. And those are serious offenses. I do not, for 1 minute, suggest guilt. I don't. But what I suggest is that the process should be allowed to take place, and those who are found culpable be held accountable. There is, leader, a call for general elections too. Well, let me just say this in closing, that as far as I am concerned, I join that call. And my advice to Mr. Holness is a simple one. I made some inquiries, and I'm told that he has a bag. I say to him, start packing, because you are going. And if you don't believe me, speak to Mr. Bowden, Bruce, that is. Pack your bags, put in your clothes and your belongings, because you can't stay as Prime Minister of Jamaica, because the international reputation of Jamaica is important, and you have, by allowing these allegations, brought Jamaica into disrepute. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now take your questions.
Good morning, Ramon Gort, CVM News. Things are heating up, certainly politically, with calls for resignations and threats to the Prime Minister, allegedly. What do you make of these developments, and especially the lead up to a general election?
I must confess I didn't hear that very clearly. I don't know if anybody heard it and could just repeat it.
I'm saying things are heating up politically, especially in the lead up to the next general election, with calls for resignations and the police presence outside the Prime Minister's home yesterday. What do you make of those developments in relation to, the upcoming election? How do you feel about the political climate?
Jens, you want to answer that?
Yes, as was said earlier, we do not condone any form of threats being made to anyone who practices within this space or to any individual at all. And we believe that the police should investigate the matter thoroughly, and those who they find that were associated with such threats should be brought to justice in a very timely manner. And that's what we are limited to saying today, because we do not have any better information on what took place.
You do not about it. What I said about political environment.
So, Bole, yeah, the matter, as we have read in the report, is to be referred to the Financial Investigation Division, Edmund Campbell from the Guinea Company. Clearly, the Prime Minister's statutory declaration, well, they have said that it cannot be certified until the FID, I suppose, conducts an investigation and produces its findings from that investigation. You know that annually the Integrity Commission publishes the Prime Minister and the opposition leader statutory declaration, and next month, that is in October. What would be your suggestion, if any, to the FID in order to facilitate the process in terms of allowing the Integrity Commission to be able to, as quickly as possible, make a decision on the Prime Minister's statutory declaration? Part of about 3 years now, effective next month, that the Prime Minister's statutory declaration has not been certified. So what would be your suggestion to the FID as they approach their investigation?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's appropriate for me to make suggestions to the FID as to how they should conduct their responsibilities, functions, and obligations. All I would say is that I think that the Parliament should cooperate in the referral of the matter to them, to the FID. In any event, I think the FID should, of its own motion, embark on the reference and look into the matter thoroughly. As has been said, the report raises significant issues that need further investigation. They touch on not only illicit enrichment, but I believe the inquiry of the FID must look at money laundering as well, and conspiracy, as Mr. Knight, King's Counsel, mentioned. But I would just say that how they go about it is up to them. I would just ask that they enter on the reference quickly and do their work thoroughly.
Suggesting is that it is not fair to have the Prime Minister hanging in the balance in the run-up to a general election. So I'm just wondering, in terms of expedition, the resources that the FID may need. I don't know if they may need additional resources, but when I said your suggestion, what I was hinting at, do you believe that the resources should be provided, whether from overseas, forensic support, whatever it is that they need to be able to conduct an investigation very quickly?
Well, our position is that the Prime Minister should resign and that the investigation should proceed. In terms of resources, yes, the FID must be adequately resourced to do the investigation. That, I think, is a basic requirement for there to be both fairness and thoroughness, and so that the outcome of the investigation can enjoy the trust and confidence of the public.
But may I say, Edmund, it's a very important question that you have asked. And it has highlighted the conundrum in which we find ourselves, because the directions would have to come from the highest possible level to ensure that the resources are provided and to assist with all that the FID would need to proceed quickly. And the question which is raised is, would the Prime Minister, in fact, having regard to these fulsome allegations, have an interest in having it expedited before a general election? That we don't know the answer to. But if it illustrates
The conundrum.
the conflicts which arise because of this situation.
Which is why I've said he's put Jamaica in an untenable position, because he's the head of government, and these are agencies that fall within the public sector and are part of the state and the government. So it's really an unprecedented and very, very difficult situation the country is in. Embarrassing as well, locally and internationally.
Sure.
Siobhan Campbell, Nationwide News. Two questions, Mr. Golick. The first, you suggest that the criminal investigation into the Prime Minister is incomplete. But wouldn't that criminal investigation in terms of illicit enrichment and breaches of the Integrity Commission Act and the Corruption Prevention Act be concluded on the basis that the Director of Prosecutions for the Integrity Commission says the Prime Minister has no case on those fronts to answer to?
No, the ruling of the Director of Corruption Prosecutions is only on one aspect of it. And that was to do with some bank accounts that the Prime Minister's parents had, on which he had been added as a signatory. And she said that there wasn't a basis for saying that he knowingly failed to include them in his declaration. In order to be culpable for that, he would have to show that he deliberately did that. And she said, well, but that's really a relatively minor part of what this report is about, despite what your radio station had suggested in the run-up to the table. The major aspect of this is to do with the complex and seemingly irregular transactions involving the Prime Minister and his companies. And that is what needs to be properly and fulsomely investigated. And the Integrity Commission has indicated that they've taken it as far as they can go, and they're recommending that it be referred to the FID to be completed. And we support that call.
The next.
So, what on there? So, you hear what them do? Them spread them propaganda, Big Mama mouthpiece. So, them pose up as radio station. And I said, the prosecutor, that woman there, when she should go about her business, she said them not fine, and them know say about 4 bank. That's a little thing. And they still, them have something there saying us, but she draw the same thing like the first one. Them use that I want to cover all of these things. When you read the whole thing, why then if him did free and all right, number one people, let me tell you this. Him thinking that get statutory declaration, that be certified number one. Them would not refer to the FID, now the PAG and other places. You see them unfair to themselves, that's why I tell you they can't follow Big Mama them, They wouldn't have no refer. And them that certify him and them that go on. Them that come and clear it. So when them go around and tell people this bullshit is just bullshit, them to stop it. You see it? Up to little baby don't know this, but Big Mama them spin too much. They tell you say them not real. Them not real. Them want to trick the people again with lies. Them know better than this. By the way, them go on Big Mama should get charged because them get the thing, them pull it out and give them, and them come out with a little part there and spread it. For people say, yes, this try the IC. Yes, still, Holness himself and the Governor General swear when them people that swear in, the one of them director there, and them themselves and the thing passed and set it up. And set it up. But them are talk like the IC or this and that. But when them set it up, them did want the IC to show them and then just come and just hug up corruption. Can't work like that. Yeah. Yes, you understand? Can't work like that. So you have to point it out, and them still a trick the people there. Big Mama, mouthpiece radio. Still a treat them like the corruption director, what's the one name? She, prosecutor. Yeah? Prosecution, corruption, prosecution, she. Yeah? Like, you have to free him, so him not do nothing. No. Listen. The man have, let me tell you what the man have. Let me tell you what Holness have. Let me say me can't see it right so when me there. Me have it. The man have around. The man have some. I'm me say me can't find it. But I'm put it down. General, hey, Holness you go on bad enough. You go on bad. I say me can't find it. The man have around some. Yesterday the transaction where Marky G just start out. The transaction. At some transaction when you go to bank, I remember, you know, then you know who some strange people put in them over 4 million. And then like him on go tell the FSC, say, you know, say, I the one when him Brown work with him. Say Brown only give them too much transaction over time. Reimbursement from him. You can't tell the people them that. Him that either give a check and put it on I'm a part of your company and all kind of thing. And that alone troubling for my part of your company and my work and your ministry and then you're in a business and all kind of things. What you call it? What you call it? And pick an interest. Well, it's them dangerous. Very dangerous. So they might deceive the people on top of this. And what we only for run a big mama, by the way. Only for run with a big mama. That's on a radio station. Yeah? And you see it pulls up like a radio station and every time you have press briefing, them run go and ask foolishness. Them are garbage. Continue.
This question is essentially a two-parter. If the Integrity Commission felt it was so necessary to refer the matter to the FID, why have they not done so to this point when they have a MOU with the FID that allows them to essentially share information and to coordinate? And then why add to that their call essentially for the Parliament to endorse it? Why not simply go ahead and make that referral?
I can't answer those questions. I think you have to direct those questions to the Integrity Commission. The report is a report by a Commission of Parliament, which is the Integrity Commission, is a Commission of Parliament. They report to Parliament. So they saw fit, I think, to call upon the Parliament to support the recommendations that they were making. But I'm not in a position to answer the first aspect as to why or whether they have or haven't.
So, all right, again, see, so going to speak. So this Big Mama again. The Big Mama, yes, right? You are asked why them never just do it because them have a MOU where them never do this. Them I make the thing to Parliament and them tell Parliament to do it. Them I tell Parliament say, yo, do this. Them could do it behind them back. Yeah, because if them have the MOU when them can say it. And matter of fact, the FID without nobody, when them see this, like the report and them call upon them can't go looking at it. Because them feel an interest in it. And them to do it for the country. See? Same like I see by the sit down, then you see something come up with them son, and some people say this, and them get something, then prosecute it. And Biden is the president. See? You can't in a democratic country, you have the leader for the country, and why them never do it themselves, or why them never do. You know what? Yeah, why? Them do it now, them I say them prepare it for 3 years, and then prepare it, and them say, listen, them I tell the Parliament, say, hey, we make the recommendation. Them can do it themselves, but them tell you. With all respect, tell them I prepare him and say, yo, who make it? And all him and say, hey, my back off. Them I tell them, say, I better your back off. And yes, make some of this turn the Prime Minister for the time being. I can't general election, but go deal with the thing because your thing now can't certify. This can't certify. It'll make them bad. It cannot certify. So when them I don't know, them Queenie and the one of them are going like them want this try. The same thing with them bringing to being. Them same one bring it to being. Them are going like them on this tribe. It is all right when they bring it into being. I went 2018, right? 2017, 18, somewhere around there. It is okay. When it dropped the way and vast the other day, it is all right too. But no, the Prime Minister time, and you see the mess. Them want to go and fight. It never worked like this. They could continue play.
I really don't know. They may have. We don't know.
Owen Francis from the Galena. In the report, the final recommendation from the Director of Investigation spoke to parliamentarians and the public servants buying shares in public companies and, of course, some private companies. And concerns were raised about insider trading. And so what he said or recommended was for stronger legislation to combat that. What are your thoughts on this? What's your position on this?
Well, insider trading is an offense under the Securities Act already, and the FSC has the statutory role and responsibility over that act. But I agree that there needs to be clearer guidelines, or certainly the guidelines, if they exist, should be revisited and tested for accuracy in light of the kind of activities that leaders in the country are apparently engaged in while they're in government, so that there are clear guidelines that elected representatives, especially those in government, are required to follow. It is clear that, for example, in the case of the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and the OPM, the Office of the Prime Minister, both of which obviously fall under Mr. Holness, they have such a huge swathe of the public sector that come under those two offices, that ministry and that office. And with the Prime Minister being responsible for board appointments in the plethora of public bodies that come under his portfolio responsibilities. For him as a minister, or indeed Mrs. Holness as his wife, to be involved actively in commercial activities that are regulated by those bodies or seek permits or approvals from them, creates real possibilities of conflicts of interest. So I understand why the Integrity Commission have raised that point, and I do support the call for there to be further developed rules and guidelines that can inform how, if at all, persons in these kinds of positions may or may not engage in these activities.
True.
Yeah. So going just a little follow-up about that. The Director of Investigation, it's not the first time that he has made recommendations regarding conflict of interest matters. Previously, he made recommendations in regard to Westcon, that investigation that was done regarding the Prime Minister. And there was another investigation that he did where he suggested that the government should contemplate, or the Parliament contemplate, the legislation together to deal with the whole question of conflict of interest. What are your thoughts on that?
I support the need for it, as I've just said. I mean, the way in which legislation is typically developed, especially legislation that's starting from scratch, or where a fresh approach is needed, is that the policy is developed within the government by the bureaucracy and the experts that are in it, and is developed in an iterative process where all relevant stakeholders are engaged as consultation, and then it's taken to cabinet for drafting instructions to be prepared and approved to go to the drafters for drafting. And after that, there's a lengthy process of internal review and finalization before it finally goes to cabinet, for the legislation committee of cabinet to read it word for word and then send it back to cabinet for approval to be tabled. So when you see legislation come to Parliament, you're really looking at the tip of an iceberg of activities that have taken place to get it there. So it's really for the government to engage the processes of government on this particular issue of how to address these conflicts of interest so that the policy can be developed, and I would support that.
Two final questions from me, Mr. Golding. The first is, would you at least agree that the commissioners of the Integrity Commission and the members and the directors should face the oversight committee to answer further questions regarding this matter, considering the report has now been tabled and essentially the gag clause has been lifted? And the second question is, would you...
So it sounds like a big mama boy that attack again. I tell you, you got face question. Why? One needs to go do him thing, you know. The people them don't need to go face no question. So Golden. These are the foolishness that them want to come with. Oh, you have face question when you do your work. A pantan that a judge, you know. Better a judge. A Christian them, they and one of them people had some tough liars them on there, you know. Yeah? Yeah. You understand? This bad. Can't face that. This bad. You understand? Yeah, man. So when I talk, when I buy into this, I only to go straight up in thing. What am I face question for? You forgot to deal with this. What them I face question for? When you put them past stand, why you want them go past stand? This a big mama making again. You have to run the big mama. Him need to lose him read the license. Yeah? Continue.
support now in light of what has happened over the past few months with the Integrity Commission that said gag clause be removed from the Integrity Commission Act?
I think the issue of the so-called gag clause is obviously a live one for the media, and they have been for a long time complaining about it. It has a history as to why it's there, based on past events prior to the Integrity Commission even coming into existence. And I think there needs to be an appropriate balance struck. And, the attempt was made in the provision that you find offensive, because it simply says that until the investigation is complete and the report is tabled in Parliament, it should not become a public document. It should remain a confidential document within the Integrity Commission. On the face of it, that is inoffensive. What has become problematic, I think, is the length of time that these investigations have been taking because of the fact that they inherited a body of work as a new institution. They had to get themselves up and running institutionally as an amalgamation of other entities that were brought into one. And it's taken them a while to clear that backlog and so on. But I'm prepared to have a discussion about that issue. And I have an open mind on it. I don't want to say definitively how I feel, because I think I'd like to have the benefit of that discussion before I arrive at the position. Yeah.
Part of the question.
First part of the question to do with what they was like, am I understanding it? Huh? So I believe they convened a meeting for the 3rd of October of the Integrity Oversight Committee. I can tell you, though, that the intent behind the legislation with that committee was for it not to get into the weeds and nitty-gritty of reports that go to Parliament. That is really a matter for Parliament as a whole. The purpose of the Oversight Committee is to review the operations of the Integrity Commission, the resources that are available to them, and the need for changes in the legislation that can be so that recommendations can be made to make the Integrity Commission more robust, more efficacious, more effective. That's really what the Oversight Committee is about. It's not to have a sort of second bite at the cherry to review specific reports that have been investigated and tabled. Those are to be debated in Parliament, and Parliament is to make a decision as to what should happen based on the recommendations in those reports. All right, I think that's it, based on what I'm hearing. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so yeah. So when they want to come in with them foolishness, nobody now come in with that foolishness. And them ask like you want them go to Parliament and name for 20. No, them do them work. Them do them work already. You see me I say? Yeah, man. See? No man like him gone outside long time, man. Him get excused. Him gone outside, man. Outside. See? You see, as I said before, when you have a government like this, and when you look at some things, all right, Tita, the page, I'm going to look on a page, yeah? Read page 84 in the report. Between May and July 2020, 20 cardless cash deposit totaling 4.5 million, 4,565,000 were made to Mr. Holness JN bank account. Depositors identity unknown. They take it up and look for it. Remember, 80, you're a prime minister, and somebody have a cash machine. I put money in your account. You have 28 bank account. 4 million, 5 like this. 4 million. I take it up and show you in a year 3. Let me take it up and show you in a year 3. 4 million. You just work it out. You have to go through the whole thing and you see so much messing left now. 4 million. You just work it out like this. 4,565,000. Yeah. Made them deposit 83 times, 83 different deposits. Yeah. The identity for those depositors unknown. You don't know who. See? This appears to be a classic device of money laundering. Yeah? Smurfing or structuring. See? At 250 bank days, this is more than 4 transactions per day. 4 per. If somebody pay you back something, why you don't want? And remember, them now put $1 million in it, right? Them not do this. Them now put $1 million. Yeah. Them now put them put it 81 different transactions, but it nearly reached $5 million. 81 times them go there. So them are try go under the radar. All these things. Yeah, Prime Minister. Why all this? Yeah? Yeah, use a multiple account for unusual pattern of transactions, traffic, layering behavior that different account. Because you have some money like you have $100 million and you want to touch an account. The more account you have, you see where I want. Yeah? So you do some boom 100 million, you put 100,000 around there. So say if you have 28 accounts and you put 100,000 each for the day in each account. How much is that? A 28 account you have in 100,000, not 2.8 million in your bank. We don't raise the red flag. Just when you have the bank account, you can put money by the millions when you have so much bank account. Can your bank 100,000 and raise the red flag? Not true. No. But you have so much bank account, you put this and put this there, you suffer on things and move some things. 28 bank account. 28. Right? And it did it. All right. So when them said that, so explanation given of reimbursement from Norman Brown, shareholder of Estabridge Limited. I when them give, when them come out, for them thing, come and say, listen, as some reimbursement from Norman Brown. If Norman Brown, when I reimburse for? I'm a shareholder, when I reimburse, you lend him some money. Where the money that come from where I reimburse? Where the money come from where him reimburse? You lend him some money, I reimburse something, do something, where I reimburse? You're my business partner. But if you reimburse somebody something, that means you reimburse something where you use or something. Nothing no move from the money that I move from it. Where I reimburse that? 4.5 million. So why take 80 odd transaction? 83. If you go to the card, go to the machine and put in our money and got 83 times and reach 4.5 million, you ask the question. If you need by example, man, this is food, this is a garbage for the matter. Garbage. Oh, if you not because Big Mama come out and I try first people, Big Mama the worst thing. Big Mama come with Johnny Super winner. These are an normal thing. You understand? And it can't be, remember, you know, unknown people. Yeah. You understand? Unknown people. Use an next idiot. You know, so I say I'm gonna have it an empty there. 31 million when can't use an empty there. I don't know say you have a well. You're coming like an Annie Palmer. You're fool, sir. You got man. Yeah, classes. Where's the Pinsack? Them have a Pinsack report, ma'am. Yeah, and hunter. Yes. Right? I'm an hunter. And them have a Pinsack report where them the release of almost 100 million them spent on it. If them release it, you have to see our name, you have to cut with name, you have to the whole of them name who borrow money. At the same loan, it name unsecured loan. It's the loan where Andrew borrow, the unsecured loan. Me, I bet them any money. So them can't release the Pinsack thing. When PNP go in there, them to release it. Yes. Because them do it, you know. And if them do it, them don't. Right now, them don't release it now. Tell them to release it. Them have the report. Shall them do it. Tell them release it. I bet make a scooter, make a dissect it, see me. Tell them go release it. Remember Pinsack and our government have nobody, you know. Because one don't know, one just run with foolishness all the time. Yeah? It's the same like how you see in America in 2008. About the car industry that go down, Obama have to take it over. PM is a goddamn disgrace to the world. Yeah? Same thing, Olive. Yeah, same thing. Yes? Them have to take it over and do it. And same to any country that do that. Right? So the people them will buy them money and secure loan. It's a lose. Because Park Sing Young and the one of them and Dan Crawford, the one of them did it. You go look on the report, but you just run with something you can't. If you ask, you can't even explain. Because somebody does a book and you just say, me hear it and I run with it, but you don't read about it. You know, study about it. First and study before you talk. Yeah. Yeah. First and study and then you talk. Because you look stupid when you talk. If you just say, because in a year political, the question of doing, you say, if we want to say pin sack, nobody not afraid of pin sack. May I tell you, we're going to do the pin sack thing and make you see. Right? Still go borrow and secure loan. Him and enough more JP member. Remember to come from Seattle, you know. The bubble on the bus when the PNP take it over. You never know. 40, you never even know that. And him himself, 431 million, forgot them wait. You see the whole of the thing, them have it. Tell them put it out. Them have the FinSac inquiry. What them sit up on it for? Tell them release it. Can't remember them can't release part of it and them have to release the whole of it. Yeah. We don't know where the donor money come from. We don't know if a donor money or if it could be the road that fix and that's some type of money. But it runs through the same donor thing that the same charity. So it can't go anywhere, but you just say donor, so you just say donor. It can't go anywhere. It can't go anywhere. See? And that bad. That bad. See? So when you run through the one of this, where Big Mama do, them take it out and say Big Mama go muddy the water. Make this try icy. No. Only put it in play. Enough of the people them around and you never know something bring it into play. And them are pine to go up and things at them. Depend the ice at them. Them go to the FinSac report and then they release it and spend how much millions of dollars. And you should ask yourself, say, well, on. So if you want Trump, why no release? Why Andrew? Why not release? Why you have to ask Andrew? Ask them do it, you know, from both sides. Them do it. And them have the report. Just ask them why you not release the FinSac report. You not release it now? Yes, man, release it and show the whole away. When I rush again, shows the Andrew and the one of them are telling a lie. Like when tell a lie. Say never know. And him too lie. Him too lie. And you don't make people go in and you think, remember, if somebody says something, that's why me not do tabloid. Me not want to do tabloid. Me not big man. Me not have no time to do tabloid. See? Me like to prove of things. Don't start and then leave it. You understand? You see me I say? Yeah, so what them to do is release the FinSac report. Because them have it. Them have it. Them run this FinSac report, you know. And spend millions of dollars and then they put it out. Then now release it. So you ask Holness. So Holness, like how this come up now, no? Me have better no way to do. Run go push out the FinSac report right now. Tell them go do it. Tell them do it. You know, you hear about that way. Go look when Barton Young all have to turn over house, who turn them over to everything we do. I'm going to look if you not see I'm going to name the FinSac report and the one back of them. Yeah. Yeah. PM is a disgrace, man. It's a goddamn disgrace. And they want to play a politics with him thing. Play a politics. Some people are going to like them and eat that to them. Let me tell you something. And them have the wrong conception to you know. Them have the wrong concept, you know. Hear this. Them always say, you say if you come out and talk, them say, PNP this. Let me tell you this. I have all of the video when Andrew himself, you can see with the window and doors open, is not, you know, see Mark Wooding come tell you this thing. You know, see the PNP come out come tell you this thing. When you have people that we come out and talk to this, Andrew himself go on and make all promises and do everything, you know. Andrew himself. Crab Andrew, the one of them go on and them do all these things. Them do all of these things, that's why he might run, Elijah. He don't want to film him, might run, because them block him out, you know. Yes. See? Andrew said these things. So when you show me now, it's like when me have, and you know what, so Andrew, you see me a show. When me attack, you see me a show some people, and I say them, I don't show millions. Me show Andrew. Andrew, I make the promise, Andrew, I do this, Andrew, I said that, Andrew, 1 room, then 2 room. Andrew do all these things. So when you now blame like somebody gonna say something, so them say, see, that's what the PNP them stay. When Mark Golding I not say nothing to me. So you saw him work, but deal with laws and all kind of things. See, but Andrew me a show. Me a show crap, me a show again time. And then me a show. I say all these things, whipping, we are going this, we are going that, this and that, we promise this, we are going to fix it. Andrew, me sure. I'm sure. Me not sure millions, me not want to say millions on you. Me not listen to them. A government me I deal with. Andrew, me sure. So instead of when somebody put out something, you block them, you tag them and say, hey, them are PNP, why them do this? That's why the country don't move, because you hold government accountable. And then you know one come and attack Andrew me a hold account. Hey, listen. And by the way, Andrew tell what to do me I do, yeah? Himself for hold government account. Andrew, remember, right? We can't let it go. You make the most big talk and do all kind of things. Take off your thing, walk through water. Then you wear clothes and do all these kind of things. So we are holding accountable. Yeah. No, them no want to put up. We are telling them to put out the FinSac report now because them have it. Yeah. They said the deposit money. All that too. You know, say, all right, look on this. The SSL thing dropped the other day. Andrew's a goddamn shame. Female Africa all in it. We look him and get money from SSL, but him not. We not see where he put the money in it. We not see where him state money to SSL. We see SSL that said how much money. Them said 100,000 to him. When they close him account, them said 30,000. Them said how much more thousand US from out of SSL. And look what happened to SSL. And your prime minister this, you know, when the people them get locked up, if we a mass and I pay 200,000. Some pay 400,000 and them thing. The Andrew busy in a night when bank close, when the tourists now come, when the shop them close and everything. Andrew say, I'm working and I remember, I have Andrew I say it, you know. I want him to incriminate himself. He said the most night, if it's show him work, I don't know how you do that because everything close. Me have your thing say I must a vampire or something. Because the man say I'm working at night. It's a goddamn disgrace, so. He's a disgrace. Andrew is a disgrace. See? Andrew say I'm working at night. Fear where I'm up. You see me I say? Andrew said, yeah. Yeah. See? Andrew say I'm work. I'm right in a where's the black white name? Kiwa. I look at all the name, they can't spell the name, so they put a name like that. Yes, and I write in a cap black. So them daft, you know, fool, you know, right there shit. You see? That I want to know, one of them were hungry and them thing there, you know, you have to see with them, you know, give them little tongue meal or something. Yeah, with little oil pan. Yeah, you know, yes. After they get them food, you have to see with them, you know. Yes. See, because ton can like with them the oil pan, you know. Yes. Remember, maybe them can't buy chicken, so them I work for them thing, I work for a slice of bread and an egg from Andrew. So when you see them, you have to just move. Yes, that bad though. Yeah, man. A country can run like this anywhere else. And Democrats, I'm not talking enough about Singapore. Yeah. Any other country under the day in gone a long time. They move. England, I'm not talking about the United States and not Canada and not England neither. Even Barbados, they don't want him. He's gone. He couldn't tell so much. From SSL job, he's gone. He's not. Andrew working a night, I'm know which part of the night that him hard working a night. Yes, still, when I open the road at St. Thomas, him say, oh, I have to hard work on that. So where my work? For the people or for the government? I don't know. Or for the government, I don't know. But you busy when everybody that don't have 28 bank account. That puzzling to me. 28. Bro, not pay your back, but him a go back. Can you imagine? You're the man a businessman, the man the man a work. Look at top work, the man will give the man top work, you know. But 83 deposit. The man are reimbursing back 4.5 million, nearly 4.6. And when you look at bank, them go and nobody know who. And you say, oh, I'm just a reimburse. But when reimburse you for? And your business partner and this and then when you do interest, you give him other work and run UDC and run another place. He might run the place then, but he might go back. Instead of him see you and him call you and him come to the office and you work together. Yeah, and him give a check and go bank it. They might do cash deposit. Not tell 83 of them. 83. That not look good, don't it? Tell me if it look good. Eh? Tell me if it look good now. Let me hear what the bedroom answer. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Me there, man. Just a beat and teeth. Yes.
Yeah, me there, man. Me not hear you say you live short, me man. My big sister passed away now. So
Oh, condolences, brother. Yes, man.
yeah, man. That's why I hear from me.
Yeah, man.
She passed away in Jamaica, so.
Anyway, we there are going to blaze the fire upon them because Anjo show we have, so people are going to listen to us. Yes.
Let me tell you something, man. You say that, man. You tell them, my mother always say, you spit in the sky, it fall in your face. And that my mother always say, you spit in the sky, it fall in your face. And you say him, I tell him, man, 5 days come, man. His day is coming. And let me tell you something, man. You may not agree with me, but I feel man should take the people and demonstrate and go back Jamaica out for him to resign.
Me no. I know Democrat people, but him fin know this. And you want the longer him take people and look through him. So because when you tell him like this, and him feel like him want work, because remember if you want to do the work, you not do this.
No, but
because if you're a businessman, you put the thing in a blind trust. Certain appears that conflict of interest, do the way you do. And the boy hurt again, but I tell you, the deep part of it, and when him come out and say him don't know nobody, him talk far and wide, the man just lie. Yeah? And yes, still them carry them interviewing them, do everything, and the man say, no. And I tell you, I say, listen, him I want to him. I'm a point out some other one, when you hear the yet, I say, if I joke me, just to go and wife family, film wife thing come out to, Someone say them are pushing wife out. Because if come out, she can, anonymous like this. Because they never declare that, and when them declare for the both of them is 171 million. Including them assets, them all house and everything where them have. But him have 400 million pass through the book, the company where him have 400, nearly 500 million. Impossible. Impossible. Remember, I'm not pay cash that alone him have it. When you declare and that's a bit too much, hold on, brother, hold on. That's a bit too much money. I never catch some people are questioning it. No, you have too much money a pass and where him do it unbelievable. Right front of my face. And him alone do, The rest of me and them were here take a film, them have the same thing, them rich. Taxpayers' money. Listen me, man. And like them just them in there and them just make money off of them own like this. Where them get them money from? Where them get the money from? Them rich. And the rich money can't hide them overreach. That's why they must have keep in a power because if you're out of power now, then some prison thing, them are gonna dig up everything. So we say, okay, we have to make sure everything dig up and have to come out of power and if we go away. We have to start to hold people accountable. People at Jamaica so never start to hold them accountable. You understand? Anything with spooky, move them up. We not play with them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, I tell you, man, you say somebody, I will tell you something, they want to talk about the US, you see? Right now, they might watch him, but me I tell you, say, you see the US people, them not drink, you ain't got to them wait, sometimes they wait till it's cold.
I know, man.
They might watch him. And when the man gets in a COVID, he take it himself, John, when get, so it's true that the English government, the American government, and watch him.
People them not really get the money, Even the money, I say when I go, then put it as, say, okay, I must do enough funds because you use it and you say you're one, so, and you make them know you're but how it come from.
They might watch him at this time.
Yeah.
They understand. They might hold on for him. Them are wicked man. The people are in bed at the hospital. They don't even have bed.
Wicked man.
They don't have bed. They don't have medication. They don't get bed. When you go to the can't get Panadol fees again. That is Panadol.
Hold on, John. People, you see this? See that? Me have now. See that? More want to look on the screen. See that people, see that? See the money down there, so? Give it very important. All right, go down there, J, and all right, see that? See the 4 million there, see the 4 million down here, see right there up on your screen. See that card that's cash deposit, totaling 4,465,000. Where you see them made. The evidence also showed that on September the 16th, 2020. Said that around there somewhere the election call, right? RTGS withdrawal of see that you see the money where they withdraw was made from this account. See that? Julie see authorized officer, see the JN. The cardless deposit. And it makes you the machine member. Let me see this. See there? The evidence further shows that the deposits are made by an agent of the member of depositors identity unknown. See there? And I may have said, see there? And the on page, you have to read through the whole thing. See the whole thing, you have to read through it. Depend 83. You have to, every time when you read through the whole thing, then it pushes. But where Big Mama them did not try though, said the woman said, no, you have different director. You have the investigator director, you have the one that deal with prosecutor, you have different of them, in them things. Just look on it, you see. So when she talk about the 4 little book, you must say, hey, that's nothing to do this. That was listen. So he must spin people head and know so this is a lie. The whole meeting and the whole thing, it's full. It's full. We're going to deal with, I'm not going to stay too long in the day because I forget ready for Titans. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, so I worries. Yeah, John, later I talk to you. Yeah.
Later.
So I forget ready for the Titans. Because I worries later. Same? All right. Me there, you know. Keep it real. Don't make Andrew. Just do the right thing and make them investigate and say we can. You still have to go through it, you know. You still have to go through it. You can't prevent it. And like you can't run around it and it can't stay. I remember them can't. You stop the declaration, it can't be certified. It just can't. So I care what them do. The first thing you tell yourself, so they will on. So if in the direct, unstatutory declaration cannot be certified with all these things. Even if you read and write that question that. And that question I said then why them not put it at the FID where them deal with financial crime and all kind of things. Why them that referring to that? Them telling you that they said the scope of them scope like this is a bigger thing and them have to have the man them. Can them see some things there? Yes. Them see it. So I remember run up and down and feel say, yeah, but that's why I'm going to control the police them up there, you know, and do a lot of things I run up and down. It can't work. This is a foolishness. Every judge, every police, everything and thing, you have to stand up for righteousness and morals and stop the foolishness. Because you don't get cast, you know. You as an individual, if you move from a professional and start with this in an Alibaba fashion, you're going to get cast too. You can't afford to make them mash up the country. Stop on the foolishness. Anyway, Titans later. Yeah? Yeah, you don't know where it go already? Me out.
We in lump sum, we a beat it till they are my bane. We now make them get in a them and again. None of them boy, we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomber.
Original quote, they said no, we not take rough up the cook up. From the other day, them face them a puff up. That they 3 little pig and the unfair off up. If them flip like a fool and leave them get crushed up. Better shut your beat, not speak, you better hush up. Street furniture, everything's a get dust up. Limbs and shove, everything's a get brush up. When you see original Eastman, you must not fuck away. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to.
I'm out. Hey, me just get a call where say Jude Cuthbert Flynn. You know that the asset idiot one there at the foot. Yes, that one that say Mark Golden and thing for resign. That one, the asset there at the foot. But I'm a little baby for your husband. A little one, him. A little child, yes. But you talk about a one bag of bullshit. And people when you hear them go out and talk about a bull about them this and that. Your husband working and the cannabis, I'm at a fucking depend the board and thing. Appear can't take an interest them are going with one, you know. Them. You have to be careful with them are going with them lying themselves and them man and the woman and everything, you know. A rape out Jamaica, you know. She not understand. She asked that she forgot sit down. Alright? Alright. Later. Titans.